My fiance's sister offered to be our surrogate. My fiance said yes without asking me. Now I know why they've been planning this since before we met Nesters. I'm supposed to get married in 3 months. After what I discovered this week, I don't think that's happening anymore. Original post I 32M have been with my fiancée, Rachel, 29F, for 4 years, engaged 4-1. We've talked about kids since early in our relationship. I've always been clear that I want children, and she said she did too, just not right away. Rachel and her sister Emma, 27F, are extremely close, like weirdly close. They text constantly, have sleepovers every week, and Emma has a key to our place. I've mentioned it bothers me sometimes, but Rachel always says I'm being jealous of their sister bond. Last month at dinner, Emma made an announcement. She wants to be our surrogate when we're ready for kids. I nearly choked on my wine. We haven't even started trying yet, and I assumed when we did it would be, the traditional way first. Rachel immediately said, "Oh my God, yes, this is perfect." And they started crying and hugging. I sat there stunned. When I tried to bring up that we should discuss this privately first, Rachel waved me off and said, "Don't be silly, this is amazing." I pulled Rachel aside later and asked why Emma would offer this when we haven't even tried naturally. Rachel got defensive and said Emma was just being proactive and supportive. Red flag number 1. Over the next few weeks, they started planning everything, talking about timing, looking at fertility clinics, discussing how Emma would move in with us during the pregnancy. Every time I tried to pump the brakes, I was accused of not appreciating Emma's gift. Then Emma let something slip. We were all having dinner and she said, "I can't wait to finally do this. We've been planning it for so long." Rachel went pale. I asked, "How long?" Emma looked confused and said, "Since before you guys met. Remember, Rach? Our pact?" Rachel tried to change the subject, but I pressed. Finally, the truth came out. When they were teenagers, they made a pact that Emma would carry Rachel's babies because Rachel has severe tocophobia, fear of pregnancy/childbirth, that she's been hiding from me our entire relationship. She never told me because she was afraid I'd leave her. But wait, it gets worse. I asked Emma why she was so eager to do this. She laughed and said, "Well, I want kids too, and this way I get to experience pregnancy without having to raise them. Plus, Rachel promised I'd be like a second mom. I'll be here all the time anyway." I looked at Rachel and asked, "What does she mean, second mom?" Turns out they have a whole plan. Emma would move in during the pregnancy and just never leave. She'd help raise the baby as Aunt Emma, but with full parental involvement. They'd already discussed baby names where Emma gets equal say. Emma even mentioned she'd breastfeed to help with bonding and give Rachel a break. I lost it. Asked them if they were planning on just using me as a sperm donor and wallet while they played house together. Rachel started crying, saying I was making it weird and that lots of families have close aunts. I said, "Close aunts don't breastfeed their sisters' babies." Emma actually said, "Why not? It's natural and beautiful." I walked out. Stayed in a hotel that night. Rachel bombarded me with texts about how I was overreacting and being unsupportive of her mental health struggles. The next day, I went back when I knew Rachel would be at work, started packing some things, found her journal on the nightstand. I know I shouldn't have read it, but I did. She's been writing about this plan since before we met. How she needed to find a good father figure who would be okay with Emma's involvement. How she was relieved I seemed easygoing and wouldn't make waves. There was an entry from when we got engaged that said, "One step closer to our dream. Can't wait to tell Emma we can finally start planning for real." There was another entry about how she's been purposely vague about kids to ease me into the idea, and how Emma has been coaching her on what to say to make me more comfortable with their arrangement. I confronted Rachel when she got home, showed her I knew everything. She broke down and admitted it all. said she loves me but has never wanted to be pregnant, and this was the only way she could have kids. When I asked why she didn't just tell me from the start, she said she knew most men wouldn't understand. I asked her directly, if you had to choose between me or this plan with Emma, what would you choose? She couldn't answer. That told me everything. Emma showed up during this conversation. Of course, she has a key. Started defending Rachel, saying I should be grateful they want to include me at all. Said most men would be thrilled to have two women devoted to raising their children. I asked Emma if she was in love with Rachel. She got offended and said no, but then added, I just think Rachel deserves better than someone who doesn't support her dreams. Their mom called me yesterday to tell me I'm being ridiculous and should be thankful Emma is willing to make such a sacrifice. Apparently, the whole family has known about this pact for years and thinks it's beautiful. I'm sitting in my hotel room now, wedding venue deposit non-refundable, trying to figure out how I became a bit player in my own life. I wanted kids, but not like this. Not with my future sister-in-law as a third parent who breastfeeds my children while living in my house permanently. Am I crazy? Is this really just a modern family situation that I'm too closed-minded to accept? Or did I just dodge the biggest bullet of my life? Update 1, 3 days later, holy shit, this blew up. Showed him the journal entries and explained the situation. He said if I'd gone through with this, I'd have been in a legal nightmare. Emma, being the biological mother, could complicate custody if Rachel and I divorced. The second mom arrangement could give Emma grounds to seek parental rights. He actually said, run, don't walk. I also reached out to Rachel's ex-boyfriend from before me, found him on social media. He was very willing to talk. Turns out they broke up because of this exact issue. He said Rachel and Emma presented the same plan to him after 2 years of dating. When he objected, they gaslit him for months before he finally left. He warned me that they've been looking for someone to go along with their plan for years. He said, you're not her fiancé, you're their selected sperm donor. But here's the real kicker. He sent me screenshots of messages between Rachel and Emma from when he was dating Rachel. They literally had a list of potential fathers they were evaluating. I was on that list. They'd been watching me because I worked at the same company as Emma. The messages about me included, he seems stable, good job, looks like he'd make cute babies, kind of quiet, probably won't interfere much, no close family nearby, perfect. They'd been planning to bump into me at a company happy hour. Emma introduced us. It was never random. I've been targeted for 4 years. I confronted Rachel with all of this. She tried to deny it at first, then broke down and admitted everything. Said she and Emma have had this plan since they were 16. They've been looking for the right guy since college. 3 other relationships ended when the guys wouldn't agree. I asked her if she ever loved me or if I was just a means to an end. She said, I do love you. You're perfect for us. For us. Not for her. For them. Emma was there, of course, and chimed in that I should be flattered they chose me out of all the candidates. She actually said, do you know how many guys we vetted? You should be honored. I told them both they need therapy. Emma laughed and said they'd tried therapy once, but the therapist was closed-minded and didn't understand their bond. Then Rachel dropped another bomb. She's already been off birth control for months, hoping to have an accident so I'd be locked in before the wedding. She figured once I was attached to a baby, I'd go along with Emma carrying the second one. I lost it. Told them they're both insane and left. Rachel's family is now harassing me. Her dad called me a pathetic excuse for a man for abandoning his daughter. Her mom said I'm destroying 2 sisters' dreams and that I should be grateful 2 beautiful women want to have my children. The wedding is off. I'm breaking the lease on our apartment. Already found a new place. I'm blocking them all and starting over. To the commenter who said this sounded like the plot of a horror movie, you were right. I feel like I escaped a cult. Update to 1 week later. This will likely be my final update because I need to move on with my life, but you all deserve to know how this insanity concluded. After my last post, things escalated quickly. Rachel and Emma showed up at my work. Security had to escort them out after Emma started screaming that I was abandoning my family, and Rachel was sobbing that I was destroying their lives. My boss was understanding when I explained the situation, abbreviated version, but it was mortifying. That night, I got a call from Rachel's mom. She wanted to meet for coffee to clear the air. Against my better judgment, I agreed, thinking maybe one person in that family might be sane. Nope, she brought a PowerPoint presentation. I'm not joking. A whole presentation about why their family plan was beneficial. Slides included 2 mothers equals more love, built-in babysitter with Emma, financial benefits of shared housing, studies on extended family child rearing. She actually tried to convince me that this was evolution in modern families and I was being stuck in the patriarchal nuclear family mindset. I stopped her at slide 15 out of 47 and left. But the craziest part? While she was presenting, she let slip that she did the same thing. Rachel's aunt carried her and Emma because their mom also has tocophobia. The aunt lived with them until the girls were teenagers. This is literally a generational thing in their family. I sent one final text to Rachel, please don't contact me again. I'm filing a restraining order if necessary. It helped. Her response? A 10-page letter delivered to my office about how I'm throwing away the perfect family and how no other woman will ever love me like she does. The letter included a photo of her and Emma holding baby clothes they'd already bought. Emma sent her own letter. Hers was worse. She admitted she's been in love with the idea of this arrangement since she was a teenager. She's never had a serious relationship because she's been saving herself to be the perfect surrogate for Rachel's children. She actually wrote, I've been preparing my body for years for this gift. I took everything to the police and filed for a restraining order. The officer who took my report said it was one of the weirdest cases he'd seen. The restraining order was granted. They're not allowed within 500 feet of me, my home, or my workplace. Found out from a mutual friend that Rachel told everyone I left her because she's infertile. She's playing the victim, getting sympathy from people who don't know the real story. I thought about setting the record straight, but decided it's not worth it. Let her have her narrative. I know the truth. I've started therapy to process all of this. My therapist's jaw dropped when I told her everything. She said what they were planning was emotional manipulation and reproductive coercion. She also said their family has created a deeply unhealthy dynamic that they've normalized. On a positive note, I got a promotion at work, partly because my boss felt bad about the scene they caused. I'm moving to a different city next month for a fresh start. Already joined some hiking groups and am looking forward to meeting normal people who don't have secret breeding pacts. To answer the most common questions. Yes, I got tested. I'm clean. No, she wasn't actually pregnant, thank God. Yes, I'm keeping the ring. I'm going to sell it and use the money for my move. No, I don't think all sisters are crazy, just these two. To Rachel and Emma, if you're reading this, what you planned wasn't beautiful or evolutionary or a modern family. It was deceptive, manipulative, and frankly creepy. I hope you both get the help you desperately need. To everyone else, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking your boundaries are wrong. I'm closing this chapter and moving on. Thanks for helping me realize I wasn't crazy. Your support meant more than you know. Here's to new beginnings and relationships with people who don't have secret PowerPoint presentations about breeding plans. Final update 6 months later. I wasn't going to update again, but I figured you all deserve to know how this story truly ends. I moved cities, started fresh, and have been in therapy working through the trust issues this whole situation created. Life was finally feeling normal again. Then, last week, I got a Facebook message from a stranger named Derek. He's Emma's ex-boyfriend from college. He found me through mutual connections and wanted to warn me. Turns out, Emma and Rachel are doing it again. They're both on dating apps in my old city looking for their next target. Derek sent me screenshots of their profiles. Rachel says she's looking for a family-oriented man ready for commitment. Emma says she's excited to help her sister start a family. But here's the truly disturbing part. They're now being upfront about their plan. They're advertising themselves as a package deal for men who want children but are open to alternative family structures. They've rebranded their insanity as being progressive and polyamorous, even though they claim it's not sexual. Derek found out because his friend matched with Rachel and asked him if he knew her. The friend went on one date where both sisters showed up and they pitched their arrangement like it was a business proposal. They even had a new PowerPoint. I couldn't help myself. I made a throwaway account and found their profiles. Their bios now include sister duo looking for the right man to complete our family. Open to unconventional family dynamics. Must be comfortable with extended family involvement. They're getting matches. Apparently there are men out there who are interested in this arrangement. But wait, there's more. Emma reached out to Derek to threaten him after his friend unmatched Rachel. She accused him of sabotaging their journey to motherhood and said he was bitter about being too weak to handle their bond. Derek and I compared notes. The patterns were identical. Both introduced to Rachel through Emma. Both told Emma was just being a supportive sister. Both had the surrogate conversation sprung on them. Both were gaslit when they objected. Both discovered we were pre-selected from a list. We found 3 other guys through social media who had similar experiences. There's literally a trail of men who fled this situation over the past 8 years. One guy, Marcus, dated Rachel for 3 years. He was going to propose when they hit him with the plan. He said the worst part was that they'd already decorated a nursery in Emma's apartment for a baby that didn't exist yet, with a man who hadn't agreed to anything. Another guy, Tony, said he caught them poking holes in condoms. When he confronted them, they said it was the universe's way of making the decision for them. We've created a support group chat. It's equal parts therapy and warning system. If any of us hear about someone new dating Rachel, we reach out with our stories. The silver lining? My experience has helped other guys escape. 3 men have already thanked me for sharing my story publicly because it gave them the courage to leave similar situations. As for me, I'm doing well. I'm dating again, cautiously. I'm upfront about wanting kids someday, but very clear about expecting a normal 2-parent situation. My therapist says I've made great progress in learning to trust again. I still sometimes wake up in a cold sweat thinking about how close I came to being trapped in that situation. If Emma hadn't slipped up at that dinner, I might be married with a baby right now, living in some bizarre 3-parent household. To Rachel and Emma, I know you're reading this. I know you check my social media through fake accounts. I want you to know that your plan will never work long term. You'll either need to find someone as disturbed as you are, or you'll need to get serious psychological help. What you're doing isn't revolutionary or beautiful. It's predatory. To anyone reading this who might be in a similar situation, run. Don't walk. Don't negotiate, don't try to understand, just run. And to the guys in our support group, thanks for making me feel less alone in this bizarre experience. Who knew there were so many of us who'd survived the sister surrogate situation? I'm closing this account now, for real this time. Living well is the best revenge, and I'm too busy living to keep dwelling on this insanity. Stay safe out there, folks. And always trust your gut when something feels off. Peace out. P.S. They're apparently writing a book about their journey and how society isn't ready for their kind of love. I can't make this stuff up.